Good afternoon. It is Thursday, March 30th. Skipped yesterday. After work, I went out to dinner with Beth and her parents, which is fun. I like that I'm invited and to things like that. That's cool now. But still not to the point where I'm comfortable vlogging around them. So skipped the day. I was like, that's fine. Now today, Beth is busy. She has to clean things at her house, and I have to not distract her because she has friends, her D&D group, coming in from out of town for the weekend. So I'll get to meet them, and also so they get lots of D&D time. So I probably won't actually get to see her a whole lot this weekend, but that's fine. I got some D&D plans myself, so it's fine. But for today, she's working on cleaning things, I'm working on not distracting her. Great time for movie day, right? And because we started watching Critical Role, I don't have to be okay, hurry up and get another movie so that I have something to watch with her that I've, pulled forward on the shelf. So I was like, well, what do I want to watch? And there's one that I've been thinking about for a while now that has a bit of an odd, close to home kind of feel. Some slight similarities to perhaps my own world. And that is The Truman Show. See, the difference is he is secretly documented without his consent, and I am intentionally documenting my life all on my own. But, I'm like... and I don't think I've actually watched the movie since I've been vlogging. But, it is... you want to talk about reality TV, eh? But, yeah. So, I'm going to settle in for movie day, which no longer has a reliable day of the week because Beth plans take precedence. So, Thursday, movie day, it works. I'm going to watch The Truman Show. And I would give The Truman Show a 7.9 out of 10. I quite enjoy it. From the back of the box, all eyes are on Burbank. Truman Burbank, that is. And you'll want to join the masses in taking a fresh new look at this marvel of a movie from director Peter Weir in this special collector's edition DVD. Truman, Jim Carrey, is about to discover just how abnormal his seemingly normal life is. What he doesn't realize just yet is that his whole life is a reality TV show, televised and broadcast for the world to see. The creative genius of Jim Carrey will amaze and thrill you in this groundbreaking film that also features Ed Harris, Laura Linney, Noah Emmerich, Holland Taylor, and Peter Krause. This is the movie. This movie is about Truman Burbank. A character who is in this fictional world is known across the world. The most watched televised show in existence. A show that is an entire channel. 24/7, 365. Claiming to be unedited, but really they mean just not cut together in advance, live cut together from a town rather, that is put inside of some controlled dome where the crew, the director, have control of everything. The weather, everyone except Truman in the town has little earpieces that they're following direction. Guiding the life of this young man from birth. Born to be onto this TV show. Truman grew up here. And this is the story of him finding out that his world has been a lie. And deciding for himself that he wants to break out of it. It follows in 3 distinct parts, all intercut throughout the movie. Truman's world, in the bubble. The world that Truman is living in is one part. Is it Christoph? Whatever. The director. The people that are running the show from up above, up high, and are, like, creating the show. Interesting enough, like, the show's creator is remarked at one point as being very guarded of his privacy. Ironic for someone who chooses to give another person no privacy without their knowledge or consent. Ironic. And then the viewers, everyone else. It cuts in people watching this show and how focused they are. Now, there are things like in the director's world, like you see some security guys. It's like love Truman, protect Truman, or love him, protect him. As much as they're controlling his world, they do it from the, debatably perverse opinion that they are doing it for him. It's not with his consent, but it's for him. It is because they care about him, and the world cares about him. Because they see him. And he's a person. He's a good person. So they like him. He's easy to like. But, starting from randomly one of the set lights falling out of the sky to his father, who's been deceased for some 20-something years, showing up on the street, having broken onto the set, to just starting to question things, noticing weird things, like as he's seeing one thing or the other that's wrong, he's then questioning more things, and starting to see as the world, he accidentally gets on his radio the station that is, controlling all the extras and telling them what's going on, and then realizes it's following him. And he just starts to realize, like, the world is revolving around him, and he's not wrong. So, it is his process of figuring out that something is messed up, trying to get out. All that is being done by this controlled environment to try and keep him where he is, keep him in place, keep him content. Because they can no longer rely on his just sort of well-patterned, predictable behavior. And in the end, he gets free. In the end, he does escape. And there's a character who was removed forcibly from the show after kind of trying to let him know what's going on, because she had a bit of a crush on him in high school. Well, of course, she's continued to watch the show, support the show in watching it, by the way. I don't know if she realizes she's doing it, but because she does that, she's continued to fall in love with him. And we've seen that he married, and, much, much further along in life, still clearly has a desire for her. And she is sort of clearly seen as one of those audience members, but hers, unlike everyone else, like, she has flyers around, like, she is, like, free Truman, like, she's like a protester, that this is wrong. And so as he gets free, and we've seen that he's been trying to figure out how to get to this girl, and she's running down the stairs, and, I wish we could see them reunite. We don't. But it makes it where his motivation for leaving is romantically based. And though he is, been to his knowledge a married man, I feel less bad about his character. I mean, not at this point, his life has left him because he went crazy, because he realized that everyone is following him, and she is an advertisement. But for her mindset, she never viewed it as a marriage. She's just in a role on a TV show. And that, I don't know. It's so perverse of a concept. Captivating of an idea. But the idea to do that to somebody. Horrible. But entertaining. But it also, like, beyond just, like, the concepts and interesting, the way that the story is told, switching between these different perspectives as we follow Truman and his little life here, and we get to see parts of his routine, you know. But then, as things start falling apart, we see some of the audience. And we start seeing the creators of the show. I think in the beginning, the creators says something like, you can open some of, it's not Shakespeare, but it's honest. It's a life. And I love that. I could connect to that. Anyways, this is a show. This is an old show. 98? So what was I? 10, 11, something like that when this came out? So I think I saw it in theaters? If not theaters, like when it was still fairly new, definitely. But like things like that quote, good morning, in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, in my head. There's other parts, there's just things that are just, that, have lived in my head. Like they're part of, they attach themselves to my mind growing up. So like I have an attachment to the movie just from how long ago I saw it. But it's a life. And it's honest. And I, for one, like the idea of media that just presents a life and is honest. Maybe not so against their will kind of thing, but it's a good performance. Like Jim Carrey, because I mean, yeah, there's some silly bits and some funny bits, which of course he's known for, but there's some serious bits and some drama, and he does great. As his world is falling apart around him, he does great. He's a good actor. And I enjoyed it. It was a good movie. But I am going to call it a night. I think, hopefully, Beth will be finishing up the cleaning that she had to do, and maybe I'll get at least have a bit of a phone call with her before it's quite time to get to bed. And so I like that, since I didn't get to see her today. But for you, I'm going to call it a night. Thank you for joining me. Join me as my journey continues. Bye.